Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you how I made 6 grungy ATCs. ATCs are artist trading cards. They're 2.5 by 3.5, but I started out with some intuitive painting first. I have been kind of, not very motivated, and I know a lot of people are in the same situation as me. It's winter, it's dark, it's cold, and sometimes you just don't want to do anything, or you don't really have this big plan of what kind of art you're going to create. If that happens, and I know that it happens to everyone, you can go into your studio and just do this intuitive painting and mark making. And if it comes to something and you end up making something out of it, that's awesome. If it's just a background for something that you do in the future, that's awesome too. If it happens to be turning into collage fodder later, that's good. Today, I just started out with the intuitive painting and it ended up becoming ATCs. So the first thing I did was to take some paints, and I was kind of looking for just muted neutral paints. A peach and a kind of dusty pink and some gray and some off-white titanium buff type colors. And I have a scraper and I have a little brayer, and I was just applying it to a piece of watercolor paper that was a scrap from something that I had done, and I had it laying on my cutting table, and I just grabbed it and I was putting on some paint. Sometimes just the act of getting up, getting into your studio, getting some paint, whatever's close by, and applying it to something, it will improve your mood. And I have literally been laying in my bed reading books pretty much, except for having to, do the things that you have to do in your life. Other than that, that's what I've been doing for 3 days. I just don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I look at my life and I say, I don't feel like it. I don't want to create. And I know that there are other people out there like me. In fact, people have told me this many times in comments, that they're struggling with motivation. So do something like this. Just go do it, and it may make you feel better. The next thing I did was to take some super heavy gesso and a palette knife and scrape some gesso on there and run the end of my palette knife through it and make marks, make swirls, make squiggles. Sometimes making those kind of marks, those angry marks, make you feel better too. Just scraping or stabbing or, scratching makes you feel better. And those are interesting marks that are unique to you, and I encourage you to do them. After that, I was thinking about maybe putting some transparent paint on there. So I got some quinacridone nickel azo gold, and this is a very translucent paint. So you can put it on and other layers will show through, and I was just trying to add more contrast. Also, I got out a set of little ATC size stencils. These are from Stencil Girl Products. I'll try to remember to put the link below, but do I do it or don't I do it? It just happens. I also got out some Naples yellow, which is not a translucent color. It's more of an opaque color, and I was putting that on. And then I'll lay down the stencil, take a wet baby wipe, and rub through it and get the mark from the stencil in the reverse. I love to do that when I'm doing this intuitive painting type style. So I did that for a while and built up some more layers. And then I found one stencil that I thought was super interesting in this set. It's this weird tubey conglomeration. I don't even know exactly what it is. But when I found it, I thought, I could add some darker colors to this. And so I got out Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray, again, is not black, but it's like a really dark blue, but it's also a translucent color. So it allows some of the shapes to shine through as well. And I got out a stencil brush and I just kind of scratchily applied the Payne's Gray through this circular collection of tube stencil. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, intestines? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was meant to be, but it's cool. And as you're doing that, you can also kind of blend it in and not make it so stand out so harshly against the background because it is a much darker color by just using your baby wipe and blending in around the edges of it while the acrylic paint is still wet. The next layer is some mark making using a Payne's Gray Inktense pencil. Inktense is a cool pencil because once you activate it with water, it becomes permanent when it's dry, which is different than other watercolor pencils. I'm not so concerned about that, but it is fun to make. I was making these stabby, like, marks with it that made these lines, and that was making me feel better, just to stab. I don't want to stab so hard that I break the pencil, but I was like kind of making these pointy, pokey things. Then I did activate it with a large brush, not with any intention, but more just to activate the pencil. And then I wiped back a little bit in some places because it was getting a little bit muddy. So pretty happy with that intuitive painting. And I could just set that aside and start another one. But I decided I would do some collage on it because I have all these painty papers and things that I've made recently that are interesting, and I just wanted to use some of those. So I grabbed them. This one is some type of ink on deli paper, which just got smeared around with water. That one is some white crayon with watercolor over the top. I had some other things that were little bits of stencil or just, whatever. And I tore them down into smaller bits, put the rest away, and then I applied these to my background, my intuitive painting, just here and there. And I just tore them into squares and rectangles. I didn't try to make any special shapes. Just, not all the same, but just different sizes of squares and rectangles. And I did not end up using them all. Some of them I put in the little scrap bin next to me that I will use. And then I came back again with the palette knife and the super heavy gesso and made some more scratchy marks and just kind of blended the edges of some of those pieces in. And then I think the last layer I got out some white acrylic ink, a Liquitex brand. See how it's fun to just scratch or scrape? When you've got this this 300-pound watercolor paper, it's not getting damaged. I'm not hurting it. I'm not, tearing it or anything. And I can just really get in there and make some marks and texture and scrapes. And this is that Liquitex acrylic ink. I thought I got a little bit crazy with it, so I put some water, let it drip, and I wiped some of it back. Again, just, the darks, the mediums, the lights, the contrast, the texture, the scrapiness, the collage, all of this made something very interesting, which I then cut into ATC sizes. Artist trading cards are something that we trade with each other or give to each other. They are like a baseball card, same size, 2.5 by 3.5. And some people are very picky about that. So when you cut them, make sure you get them the right size. And then, they've got our art on them. And then we put our name and information on the back. And it becomes this little thing that you can hand out to other people or trade with other people. There's lots of groups on all the different social media where you can join a ATC trading group, and they usually have a theme, and you can make them in a theme each month and send them and trade them with each other. I don't really do that, but I do like to make them. And in our group, Art Joy of Sharing, which is our Facebook art community, we do have a ATC a day challenge. I think it's in June, and that one is always very popular. So everybody can commit to making an ATC a day. They're so small, and there's so many options of how you can make your art on there that it just becomes super fun. Every one of them turns out different. So I have a couple bins or baskets that just have random scraps. Some of them are stamped tissue paper. Some of them are leftover pieces from something else. There's pre-printed tissue paper. There's some stickers, just all different types of stuff. And the baskets, I just throw the things in there, and then I dig through to find something I might want to play with. I found these plastic doughs that I ended up putting a couple of those on a couple of them. Those are like translucent plastic cutout shapes. I don't know why I have it. I don't know where it came from. Probably Tuesday morning would be my guess. And I thought those looked kind of cool because they were transparent. They're see-through. They're still a color, but they're see-through. And the colors I could use in the choices that I made here. So I put a couple of those on, a couple of them. Napkin, I think I used a bit of napkin on one of them. I used some stickers. I don't even know. Oh, this was the packaging that the plastic things came in, had this yellow grid paper, which I thought was interesting. So I kind of tore the backing off of it to make it thinner and then glued it on one of them because it was the right kind of peachy yellow color. Hard to see in this tiny screen, I know, but you might be able to see a little bit of it peeking out when you see the close-ups of the cards. There's a piece of napkin that I glued on there. So most of that grid paper didn't end up showing through that much, but it was cool. And I saved it because packaging, you know, I always save that too. It's usually got interesting printing. This is gray stamping on a piece of tissue paper with some stamps. And I thought that kind of, this one face thing that I have here, that was actually when I tried to make one of those gel printed reverse prints where you print out a photo on your laser printer and then you put a thin layer of paint on your gel press plate or your whatever gel plate you've got. Put the picture face down, pull it back up, and the ink on the paper, the printer ink is supposed to resist and create a mystical, magical image. I don't have very good luck with it, but that is actually the piece that's left after I printed it. So it got some paint on it and made it kind of a shadow, and I thought it was interesting, and so I kept it. It's very shadowy and kind of mysterious looking face. These are from what was currently called Canvas Corp brands. These dimensional stickers. They're made out of kind of a squishy plastic. I put a few of those on. I haven't used those in so long. I have a ton of them. This is a book of vintage posters that are in sticker form. Tried out one of those. I think somebody sent me that. And I also had a cutout butterfly in that same pile that I put on there with that one. So as you can see, I'm not working each individual one. I am making them individuals. They all came out different than the other ones. They're not all the same, but I'm not working them one by one by one. I'm kind of working it as I go. And then when I start to put the finishing touches of pen work or whatever, I do kind of isolate them down and do them one by one. But here's some washi tape. Why not? Put some washi tape on it. Washi tape is so cool. And we all collect it and we have a bin of it and we hardly ever use it, right? Well, some people use it all the time, but I don't. I always forget to use it. So it's fun to grab it and just, you know, try some different ones and see what we've got. Try it on, stick it down. So I did that. So I've got, what else do I got on there? I've got puffy stickers. I've got washi tape. I've got translucent plastic pieces. I've got leftover scrap bits. Poster sticker. I've got stamped tissue paper. I've got printed tissue paper. I've got a lot of different things on there. And these are just all things that are around in little plastic bins in my studio. And, you know, you just stick them on there and make something fun. Make something fun and interesting out of your intuitive painted background. Just do it. You know, you'll feel better if you just do it. Don't give in to the need to lay around and hide from the weather. And yeah, I'm one to talk. I do give in. But here I cut out a piece of deli paper that had some paint on it and made a little heart to go with that one. And I also put some washi tape on there that's black with white hearts printed on it. or the outlines of hearts. I do love hearts, heart shapes. That's one of my favorite shapes. Circles, spirals, hearts. Those are my things. And snowflakes. I really like snowflakes. And leaves. I like leaves. Okay, I have multiple of my favorite shapes, but you know what I'm saying. Circles probably being on the top for sure. This is a black StazOn, and I just like to go over the edges of the cards to make them kind of have a little enclosed frame. That always makes me happy. And then what else did I have? Oh, stickers. This pack of stickers is from Ranger, Tim Holtz, and they are like little snippets from books, like with words on it, little word, random things, like just weird little random things like you might cut out of a book, and they're made into stickers. And I put a few of those on. Just put some words on. I like words and numbers and alphabets and things on my ATCs. I like to use those as graphic elements. Then I started working on my mark making. White Posca pen. Oh, here I got out some chunky embossing powder and some embossing ink and put that on. One of them is platinum colored. I meant to grab gold, but it turned out to be platinum colored embossing powder. You can always do that. Put some layers of embossing on it. Why not? Why not? Other than it's messy and it gets everywhere. But other than that. So I'm heating that and making like a kind of crunchy, shimmery areas on that particular one. Overlapping the edges, making it look more interesting. I had to put a little bit more medium on there because the corner came up for some reason. I don't know why. And then a couple stick-on gems. I love to put stick-on gems on ATCs. They're like little half-shaped Jimmy-looking things that come in different colors, and they have sticky on the back. So there's that one. That one was the one that had the vintage poster, movie poster, whatever on it. A memory to hold. I thought that was something interesting to put on there as a sticker. So then this is the one that started out with the big 5 on it, and I put that star on there. That's that translucent plastic piece, and I wanted it to come out from the background, so I put shadows around it and around the little sticker that I put on there, which I think says number 24. I think that's what it says. I don't know. What does that even mean? I don't know. Just putting some shadows and some splatters with white. So there's that one. And, just bits and bobs and pieces and parts. I like it. I like it. I like it. Kind of abstract. I ended up putting a little bit of that gold, Inca gold stuff on the top of that sticker. Or it's not a sticker because it doesn't have sticky on the back. It's a cutout piece of see-through plastic, basically. It came in a package. This one has a puffy sticker on it, and I'm trying to put some dark around that dragonfly puffy sticker and around the words. There's that one, the Traveler, and I liked this washi tape that had the moon and stars on it. Kind of gives the idea of a space traveler. This one, I had put that stamp tissue over the top. It kind of reminded me of a veil over the top of this lady. And I put some circles around the different dots. And then I thought, you know what, it needs a little bit more color. So I grabbed my Pitt Artist pens and put some of that peachy color back into her face and lip and her shoulder, just to bring it all together. And that made me happy. I think I popped a couple sparkly gems on this one too in a minute. Just the clear ones, the diamond looking ones. And the words say what? A wonderful creature. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that it will help you get into your studio or your creative space and just do a little bit of intuitive painting. Make some paint and marks and have fun. And of course, if you did like it, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, join my channel, membership, any of those things help my channel. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.